The Amazon rainforest, a deep, dark, and dank jungle with plants and animals as colorful as they are deadly. These South American creatures have evolved over millions of years to survive in the toughest of circumstances against the strictest competition. Here, only the strongest can survive, and the Amazons bred some big and bad contenders. Join the Hub as we cut through the underbrush to bring you the 10 largest creatures spotted in the Amazon forest. We are very excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from The Richest, Screen Rant, The Taco, The Sportster, The Things, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place with ad-free browsing. Check out the Premium by clicking this link. Sign up for free and start binge watching videos from your favorite channels. When roaming through the jungles in the equator, you'll want to avoid piranha-infested waters, only eat the right berries, and click the red subscribe button to keep watching more mind-blowing videos from TheHUB. Arapaima. The Arapaima creates quite a splash in the river waters of the Amazon. In fact, they can grow up to a story tall. At 10 feet in length and nearly 500 pounds in weight, these long and heavy beasts float through the fresh water and contain inside them ancient genealogy. Arapaima are unique in that they have a single lung through which they extract oxygen from the water. Isolated in their own special social groups, they've tended to live within the same means for millions of years. Since the Arapaima reside in remote areas of the rainforest and tend to stick within these small, self-sustaining corners of the world, they haven't interbred with other species, confusing the explorers who originally came upon these animals. Unfortunately, these animals are nearing extinction and even dwindled down to a population of 800 remaining fish 5 years ago, thanks to illegal poaching and ceremonial hunting by local tribes. Luckily, the species numbers have increased by a couple thousand since then. As this large fish holds a special symbolic place in the hearts of the locals, we hope this fish will be able to stick around for many years to come. Peanut head bug. Imagine the head of Mr. Peanut, monocle and all, with the body of Jiminy Cricket, minus the suit and spats. This gigantic insect with an oblong-shaped head and a brown speckled body is aptly named because its face resembles an opened peanut. After generations of tales about this gigantic bug's ability to bite and poison anyone in its path, Old Peanut Head is actually a friendly critter that's unable to bite on account of its straw-shaped mouth. But its exterior shape and coloring allows it to fool predators and creep out other animals in its path. Its head shape makes this bug resemble a lizard, while markings on the wings that resemble eyes allow it to seem to be a bigger animal than it is. Like the ultimate Swiss Army knife of the bug world, this peanut-headed insect can also shoot out a stinky spray to ward off its enemies. Populating the rainforests of southern South America, this bug is most prevalent in Brazil, but also has a presence in Bolivia, Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador, and, depending on its regional location, is also referred to as a snake cicada and a lanternfly. Most appropriately, it can be called an alligator bug, and if you look at it from the right angle, you'll see the resemblance. Bullet ant. The peanut-shaped bug may be harmless, but the bullet ant brings a world of hurt in a short, quick spurt. The largest ant on Earth, the bullet ant is up to an inch long, and with spry agility, it can cling to its targets, inflicting quite a punch. Appropriately named, victims claim that their bites feel like actual bullets, but the wound isn't deadly because it inflicts no poison and impacts no internal organs. As described by victims of its bite, the pain comes in 12-hour waves of pure agony, crescendoing and subsiding into the worst pain imaginable. It actually hurts so much that Amazonian tribal leaders decided to make these critters a part of puberty rites, so that getting stung by multiple ants in one sitting is how a boy becomes a man in their society. Scientist Justin O. Schmidt devised a scale to measure and compare the bites and stings of various insects. He created this unique sting pain index by subjecting himself to the bites of nearly 1,000 insects. On a scale of 1 to 4, the bullet ant gets the highest marks. Black Caiman. With some accounts claiming these animals reach nearly 20 feet in length, the black caiman is the largest known alligator and the thing most likely to keep Captain Hook awake at night. Covered in dark gray scales and thin yellow stripes, it's got the perfect hue to hide in the shallow depths of dark Amazonian lagoons. As the caiman matures, its stripes darken and the size of its prey grows from crustaceans to larger fish and even mammals like deer and wild dogs. Hunting at night, The caiman thrives in freshwater environments and moves to shallower areas during dry season so they can mate, and the females can spend up to 3 months tending to their eggs in their nests lining the shore. Caiman females tend to nest near each other so they can provide protection to their young in numbers. Sadly, their hides were so popular earlier in the 20th century that their population dwindled down to 1% of their former size. Thankfully, the caiman has started to increase its numbers over the past few decades, and will hopefully surge back to the presence it once held over the rivers of South America. Greater bulldog bat. The Amazon is unique for its population of bats. With vampire bats that sneak up on you in the night, they suck blood using their sharp fangs and are so quiet about it, they can often feed on their subjects for half an hour before being noticed. And yet, these creatures are only harmful if they're carrying a disease like rabies. Otherwise, they're just like any other animal foraging for food to survive. Now, vampire bats may be the only mammal that survive exclusively off of blood, but they're still not the largest bats in the Amazon. That honor belongs to the bulldog bat. Named as such because of their characteristic snout, these flying foxes have a 2-foot wingspan, and although they're harmless to humans, they'd be pretty creepy to stumble across in the wild. Rather than blood or fruit like other bat species, these mammals swoop down into the river after nightfall and hunt fish for sustenance. Using echolocation, they can eat up to 30 or 40 fish per night, often storing their captured prey in their cheeks to feed back at their perch in hollow trees or caves once they're good and ready. Amazonian giant centipede. Although bats are notoriously associated with darkness and the macabre, nothing seems creepier or crawlier than the Amazonian giant centipede. With an array of armored plates and long spindly legs, this deep red insect wriggles its foot-long body through the Amazon's humid soil or rotting wood. To be more precise, its body is usually broken down into 23 sections with a pair of appendages per section. While all of the back legs are engineered for quick movement, the front 2 legs are called forcipules and equipped with sharp pincer-like claws and potent venom for effective defense and attack. While not deadly to humans, their venom is toxic to small animals, and when fighting what it perceives as an enemy threat, the centipedes will coil their bodies around an opponent, whether they consider this animal to be prey or think they're putting the centipede's nearby eggs in jeopardy. As monstrous as they may appear, the Amazonian giant centipedes make great parents, burying their 60 eggs and regularly cleaning these eggs during the gestation period to keep them from getting infected. If you're a giant centipede, you probably won't hatch with any mommy or daddy issues. Brazilian wandering spider. Speaking of giant monsters, the centipedes are pretty cuddly and adorable when next to the Brazilian wandering spider. These rather large and exceptionally deadly 8-legged freaks are the scariest of the lot. As one of the most poisonous of all arachnids, these creatures have a leg span of up to a half a foot. Unique because they don't spin any webs, these spiders get their names from their proclivity for hiding under dark corners by day and wandering the forest floor by night in search of food. Although they can often be confused for the harmless Cupiennius species of spider, you do not want to cross the wandering spider's path. Sometimes, though, these spiders find a way of getting to you. There have been several cases over the years of North American and European households becoming infested with the Brazilian wandering spider thanks to imported bananas. Reportedly, there have been a couple of cases with eggs attached to bundles of these yellow bananas. Once hatched, the bite of one of these arachnids can cause painful, involuntary arousal in male human victims for 4 hours before eventually fatal results. It's an odd reaction to a spider bite, but weirder things can happen in this world of ours. Giant catfish. While not a threat to humans, the giant catfish lurks in the bottom of the mighty Amazon, hunting for smaller animals on which to feed. With some coming in at 10 feet and 500 pounds, the Amazon is home to nearly half of all catfish species in the world, 1,300 total. The Paraíba species is the largest at 3 meters, but it's only one of many different types of catfish, each with their own unique characteristics. Coming in all shapes and sizes, certain catfish prefer to shimmy along the brown bottom of the river, while others only hunt nocturnally. Many have smooth outer skins, but a small portion are lucky enough to have a layer of armored scales. The Paraíba, however, has a smooth skin and lurk in deep holes along the fast-moving river's floor. To ensnare these creatures, fishermen will often catch a piranha to serve as live bait. Using this method in 2007, the Bronx's own Russell Jensen ended up catching the largest Paraíba using rod and reel. His catch weighed 295 pounds and earned him a top spot in the record books. Knowing that longer and heavier fish reside in the murky water, this record may not last for long. Speckled bear. Also known as the Andean bear, this animal is the only bear in South America. These agile climbers have short and stubby legs, but their front appendages are longer than their back limbs, allowing them to move up trees and rock faces with ease. With black fur, they get their name from the white or light brown markings on their faces, near their snouts. At 6 feet tall, they can stand face to face with most men, but unlike their North American counterparts, these Amazonian bears are shy and peaceful, preferring to avoid contact with humans. Unless a large amount of food is around, the bears tend to avoid each other as well. After a year-long nursing period, the bear cubs leave their mothers and set off into the wild, living a quiet, solitary life with a general expectancy of 20 years. With up to 10,000 speckled bears believed to be in existence, they face the same threats as many other animals in the Amazon region due to deforestation and human development in the area, causing their habitat to shrink. As food options for their omnivorous diets grow more limited, there may be less bears to go around. Green anaconda. Considered the king of the serpents, the green anaconda is considered the largest snake in the world. While the reticulated python has the ability to grow a little longer, the green anaconda is double the weight, often coming out to 550 pounds, with the ability to grow up to 30 feet. There have even been reports of larger specimens slithering through the jungles of South America. Hanging around patiently in wet lowlands areas, these scaly predators wait in marshes and swamps and are able to move best when partially submerged in water. With a diverse diet of basically whatever they see in front of them, anacondas hunt your average medium-sized mammals, but they aren't too picky with the species, going for anything from a slow-moving turtle to an unfortunate jaguar. After a meal, they can wait up to several months before feeding again. As non-poisonous constrictors, these serpents coil around their prey instead of injecting them with venom, and they get started early in life. Usually born with 25 to 35 other siblings, 2-foot-long infant anacondas can swim soon after birth and begin their 10-year-long lifespan without wasting a moment. If you see one in the wild, it would be best to avoid it, regardless of age or size. Dragons don't exist and dinosaurs are extinct, but these monsters of the rainforest are the closest thing we have to legendary creatures. And even so, the Amazon isn't the only place on Earth where exciting and unusual animals can be found. Let the Hub take you around the world to find discoveries even more exciting than the 10 largest creatures spotted in the Amazon forest. See you again soon!